August 24th, 2012, 8:13 a.m. Marion Street, going south. One important thing that really hasn't been mentioned at any of the meetings is the fact that there's a U.S. Post Office on Route 25A, and there will be a certain amount of traffic through these streets, cutting through Helen and maybe Cedar, to access that post office. You cannot make a left turn when traveling on 25A eastbound. You can only get to that post office when you're traveling westbound. So therefore, anybody in this neighborhood, or even right on the other side of Glen Cove Road, that would like to utilize the U.S. Post Office for any reason at all, needs to access this street. It's very simple. You can't make the left when you're traveling eastbound. You can only make a right into the post office when you're traveling westbound. So anybody coming from that north direction traveling south would cut through to get to the U.S. Post Office. Now, I don't suggest that the post office be shut down or moved or anything. It's just a simple point about observation. Don't kill the messenger if you don't like the message, but it's just a simple fact. This is something that not only the residents of Greenville seem to be using, but residents even from the neighboring town may utilize the Greenville Post Office, which I'm just about passing right now on the right. There we go. Greenville, New York, 11548, U.S. Post Office. So, what do? We move the post office to suit a few of the residents living in Greenville? Is that what's being suggested? Shut down roads, block off roads. Again, meeting at the diner, they didn't like the message and they were trying to kill a messenger. I think it's horrible. I think those accusations were horrible. I think Mr. Dwyer is skewing the numbers when he stands before us and he tells us it's a 50-50 split on the residents for and against any kind of change. And we have 126 signatures saying different. There's only 150 residents, so as far as I'm concerned, the math that I'm doing right now, it's not 50-50. I don't know if Mr. Dwyer is doing this with some kind of new math that's not discovered by the rest of the world, but 50-50 means an equal split, and when you have 126 signatures on a petition versus 20 for it, I have a problem with that, and I think everybody else in the room that night had a problem with that. I do not know Mr. Dwyer on a first-name basis, but there were some people in that room that do know Mr. Dwyer on a first-name basis, and he knows them on a first-name basis. So, when a politician stands before you and skews numbers like that, and then he turns around and tells us that he does have a bias toward the 4 or 5 people living on that street that are complaining, there's got to be an underlying issue there. There needs to be more to that kind of a relationship. You're choosing 4 or 5 people over, 126. What's really going on there? All right, we will find out. Again, the truth will come out. It's just a matter of time. Thank you.